Peace. This is Brother Amun Ra. Doing another post. This particular post here is more so of a response or breakdown in symbology of this year's recent Pepsi commercial that was aired during the Super Bowl, specifically the one that showed the black African American Moorish swarthy complected couple. I have seen some reviews or some posts on YouTube where individuals are claiming that this particular commercial is racist, so to speak. I have looked at this particular video a couple of times. Usually sometimes it doesn't take me no more than 2 or 3 times to really get the message or something because of this commercial period, because it wasn't that long. Okay. Now, I do understand in a way why individuals feel that this commercial is racist. Number one, we have a so-called mean or angry black woman who is unleashing hell to her counterpart. Okay. Now, I realize also that some of the individuals who find this as being racist, which in one perspective it may be, however, there's another perspective to this. I notice a lot of times when black people are shown in a particular way that seems abusive, whether it's a movie like The Color Purple, Norbit, and other movies along similar lines, and Beloved, we have a feel that the people who are in this movie or who produced the movie are attempting to bring across racism. We have to understand that at some point, especially with events that were in the movie The Color Purple, these are things that people did, both white and black, so to speak, if you wish to use those terms. They used to, these things would happen, and you would have men who would be very abusive to women in relationships, and you also saw an example where Oprah's character was a fighter and would, beat a man's ass, so to speak. I know, once again, that individuals who see this negatively, you all are probably individuals who have not had the privilege to grow up in a situation where you see a black woman that is aggressive to her counterpart, her mate, her husband, her significant other. And I'm glad that you haven't. However, there are those of us out there who have seen examples of it. I haven't seen it necessarily in my family. However, I've seen it exist in other families where you have black women, and sometimes specifically the darker skinned black women who run everything. You see what I'm saying? They will abuse their mate in different ways, verbally, physically, and both. However, once again, this not only occurs with black people. This occurs with white people. Recently, on the Oprah show, maybe like a week or two ago, they did an update of a so-called Caucasian couple where a woman, in so many words, gets in her husband's ass about everything. She treats him like a child, and she revealed why she was like that. And you have to look at the perspective of that guy where, hey, he's like this because he's probably been raised to take shit, especially from women. Okay? To go further along, just, stating some key points. So, with the black woman in this Pepsi commercial, this is a symbol in so many words and ways of the so-called domineering woman who was taught to be domineering either from her past or events where they were, or the circumstances may have been to where she saw situations where a man was ruling over a woman, abusing a woman, and she decided she didn't want to do that. Or she could have been in a situation where she saw women being like this. And whether it's one thing about the mind, and especially when it comes to negative things, when we see negative stuff so much, we come to a fork in the road. And that fork in the road symbolically means I'm either going to choose not to be this way and do something completely different, or I'm going to go forward and look at it as normal, whether I like it or not, or I can be the extreme manifestation or the opposite manifestation of that situation. So, just to deal with it on a racist note, this is the so-called bullshit that a lot of people are coming from when they see this as racist, and especially the part when the brother looks at the so-called white girl, or the Caucasian woman speaks to him very nice and respectably, which is different from how his wife responds to him. However, I understand why you all may think this may be a racist commercial, but come on, let's be real. Pepsi knew what they were doing. And I'm going to break down a possible scenario as to why Pepsi did this. Now, so now there's this thing that hey, we ought to boycott Pepsi, and anyone who is African American, black, or whatever shouldn't drink Pepsi. Well, based upon past events, you weren't supposed to be drinking that stuff in the first place if we really want to talk about boycotting. And I know this is a little long, but I'm just going to give a little history on Pepsi. Remember, those of you remember a few years ago, like in I think it was the early 2000s, Coke put out a commercial that casted Common, The Roots, Jaguar Wright, people who were on the so-called underground or conscious tip in rapping and R&B, or neo soul, so to speak. All right, Pepsi, seeing what Coke was doing with this, they figured, yo, we're gonna get us a rapper too, and blah blah this and blah blah that. So they signed Ludacris to do a commercial, not thinking, yo, he's not the same genre of rap, so to speak, like they are, or hip hop as they are. Ludacris, his style, is pretty much everywhere. He talks about women, and it's different from the Roots. So when Pepsi recognized this, Pepsi gave him the boot. And everybody was saying, well, we're going to boycott and we're not going to drink Pepsi anymore. So if these are the same individuals who are boycotting Pepsi, who said that stuff back then, as I've said before in my videos, what nigga means, you some dumbass niggas if you kept supporting Pepsi anyway or forgave them. So this goes out to you if you were drinking Pepsi and knew of that history with Ludacris and still doing it. Otherwise, that fine. Now, what we all have to really look at here is the fact we have to remember that anything in the form of a drama, a play, acting, period, is meant to play out a subconscious or subliminal message that is impregnated in the feminine aspect of the mind, which is the womb, that is detailing a particular agenda, a particular purpose, or a particular explanation or of something else bigger that's going on, and they're using the cast, the settings, and everything that's involved with the drama, commercial, or whatever, to give you something that you can affiliate with quickly, so it goes into the subconscious faster. Once again, that was done. It started out. It was painting a picture that most individuals, whether they believe it or not, especially some men of the black African Moorish perspective, they won't say it out loud. However, it's a familiar scene, which allows it to be implanted in the subconscious much quicker. That being the case, they use this scenario, the whole thing with the black woman kicking the dude's ass, or attempting to be a ball buster, all of this throughout the commercial. All of that was done to paint a so-called familiar picture, so you were in tune to the commercial much quicker, much faster than someone who has never seen that anymore, or seen that before. However, the people who've never seen those particular scenarios in their lives, they got pissed off. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you exactly what this means. I'm going to walk you through the commercial, so to speak, verbally, and break down what it's really for. So pay attention or stay tuned to the next video.